I'm working with Lori, and Lori has agreed to do our session for training and promotional purposes. Thank you so much, Lori. Um, and so we are going to do a comprehensive energy psychology session with Lori. And we're going to first start with step number one, and we're just going to get to know each other, um, answer any quick questions. I know we've already developed a rapport with each other, but I'd like to know exactly what you would like your session to be focused on today. So if I could wave a magic wand or do anything special for you today, what's on your heart?
The most current thing for me is intimate relationships. When I'm with a partner, I tend to get lost in that relationship. Like they know better. And then I get resentful because I let them sort of take charge of whatever is happening in our lives. So what I want to do is be able to be myself, figure out what makes me happy in my life, and still be in relationship and figure out when do I compromise or should I not compromise.
It sounds like there's clarity, and I just want you to know that I'll write down like some of the important things, like your goals and your problems. So if you see me writing something down, that's what I'm doing. So we can come back to trying to remember exactly what you said. And so I wrote down personal growth, and that your biggest problem is intimate relationship, and that you feel that you lose yourself when that feeling arises. You start to feel resentment. So one of the things that I do as we continue towards our session is I sometimes will check in with you for your intuitive feeling. And then also I'll do muscle testing. Now I like to muscle test with a pendulum when I do distance work. And so like if I saw you in person, I would have your arm out. And if you say a strong statement, I'll push on your arm, and it'll be true to your system. So your muscles will be very strong. And if you say something untrue, I'll push on your arm, and it's weaker for your muscles. And so there'll be like a bounce, or some people will be just drop right down, you know what I mean? And so is it okay if I do muscle testing for you with a pendulum?
Yes.
Okay. And before I do anything, I just want you to check in with your body right now. You could close your eyes and think about your problem, about the resentment, not being clear about yourself with intimacy, when to pull back, when to, just everything you said. And tell me where you feel it in your body, or how does your body feel right now?
All over, my body feels a little tingly. I think the strongest feeling I have is in like the pit of my stomach.
Okay. When you say the strongest feeling, what do you mean by that?
When I think about this issue, I feel this unrest, like butterflies in my stomach.
Okay. And what number would you give that on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 meaning it's really strong?
It's like a 4. It's not that strong.
Not strong.
Kinda,
Okay. And how big is this problem right now, just in general?
I feel unable to really be in an intimate relationship at this point in time. In the context of intimate relationships, it's pretty big.
And then, and scary too, like butterflies.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is just start testing you so I can get what we call an established testing measurement. What I want to do is I'm just going to say you've given me already permission to muscle test for you. So just say something true, like say my name is Lori Krein.
My name is Lori Krein.
And now let's go ahead and say something not true.
I have 4 kids.
So when it turns one way, it's strong, and that's when it turns to the right. And when it turns to the left, it's weak energy. Does that make sense? All right, perfect. And sometimes, I don't know if you notice, it started spinning because it already, sometimes intuitively, the intuition of the muscle testing the energy, it picks up already before you even say it.
Mm-hmm.
So now what I want to do next is just check your biofield. So the biofield is like your aura, And it helps with the session to help you possibly when you think about the problem and you think about how big it is and how scary it is, sometimes it can throw off our aura or bioelectric energy field, which can affect the way we think. It could affect the way our health is. I wanted to do just some muscle testing on how your biofeel. They're just different exercises and readings on your biofeel. If you could put your hand just on top of your head and then just move it up an inch. Just move it up just a little inch. Okay, and just hold there. Okay, so that is your up and down vector. And so we're just going to do a little exercise to see if it'll help with that. And what it is you want to draw on energy from the sun, and then you also want to draw on energy from the earth. And there's a little bit of a problem there. How is your hydration? Are you drinking enough water right now? You could also grab a drink of water.
That's actually a good idea.
Okay, go ahead and grab some water.
I'll be right back.
Sometimes that alone can affect our aura and energy field.
Okay, 1 second.
And I'm going to have you do a heart rub. Is you're going to rub on your heart and particularly this neurolymphatic point, which is on the side of your heart, kind of where the sore spot is. And you'll just rub like to the left and down to the right with your right hand. And just go ahead and just repeat after me. I accept all that I feel.
I accept all that I feel.
I accept my worries and fears over intimacy.
I accept my worries and fears over intimacy.
And all the stress around my intimate relationships.
And all the stress around my intimate relationships.
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Even though I'm feeling butterflies in my stomach when I think about intimacy.
Even though I feel butterflies in my stomach when I think about intimacy.
I love and accept all that I feel.
I love and accept all that I feel.
Even though I feel butterflies and I feel fear and I'm unclear about what to do and all the resentments, I love and accept myself.
Even though I feel butterflies and I have resentments, I accept all that I feel about intimate relationships.
And I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Good, good, good. And then just take a few deep breaths in and out. And then let's go ahead and check your polarities. Let's bring your hand on top of your head again. Good, and just move it up an inch or two and hold. Good, and now flip your hand upside down. Perfect, and hold. All right, good, that helped. So go ahead and we're gonna move on to the next one, okay? I'm gonna have you look at this X. Okay, so now we're gonna cross your right and left or cross vectors. And so just look at the X. Good, and hold. Excellent. And then I'm gonna have you look at two parallel lines and hold. Now, put one hand on your heart. Okay, so we're gonna do a heart-brain connection. And looking at the X and hold. So this one is going to be a fun exercise. Okay, so there's some work we need to do with the heart-brain connection. Can you stand up and do like a little exercise with me? So what we're doing is connecting the heart and brain. And so we call this the scarecrow cross crawl. We're gonna take your right hand to your left knee and act like you're pulling your left knee up and then just drop your arm out. So a little bit like you're gonna just go side to side, and it's almost like you're doing a puppet on a string, and you're crossing your midline and just letting your arms relax, like, yeah, yes, like scarecrow, like And then once you get it, I know this is a really odd one, but it works. We're going to count 1, 2, 3. You can count out loud. 4. Good. 5, 9, 10, 18, 19. Now let's sing. Just make up a song. La 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 la. We're working the right left brain, and go ahead and just shake it out and take a few deep breaths, and we'll test that again. So that's working your right left hemispheres. It helps connect you to the heart, and so it may be that we're so much in our heads that sometimes we get disconnected when we think about a problem. So let's just see, have you put your hand on your heart. And I'll have you look at the X and hold. And then keep your hand on the heart and then look at the 2 parallel lines. Okay, good. So now the next exercise, I'm going to have you take your fingers and feel for your collarbone and push your fingers up under your collarbone where the dent is next to the middle. And just do one hand at a time. And hold. Okay. So the best treatment is the breathing treatment. The over energy treatment is even better. Okay. So we're going to do a treatment to help correct for over energy. So sometimes when we think about a problem, we get too much energy going on. And so I'll do this standing again. All right. So we'll have you, I don't know if you can see me, take your left leg and cross it over your right. Squeeze your legs together. And then take the back of your hands together and take the right hand and hold on. So your right hand comes over to your left and interlace your fingers. And then bend your hands up and underneath your jaw. Now squeeze everything together. Think of something you're grateful for. Take the tip of your tongue on top of your hard palate behind your teeth. And inhale. And then exhale, sigh. And do that 3 more times. Good. And then shake it out. Relax. Let's just check that again. Bringing your fingers under your collarbone. And hold. And then to bring them to the other side. Oh, same hand, sorry, same hand. The area closer to your heart. Okay. There you go. Okay. And then push in and up. Good. And then hold there. Okay, good. And now the other side. Good. But now take your fist, same hand, and push again under the collarbone. And then other side. Okay, good. And now relax, relax, and just say there's still more work to do on her energy field. She's ready for treatment, or she's ready to continue. All right, so do you feel different after doing those exercises at all?
I feel a little calmer.
Okay, good, good, good. That's kind of what happens, is it helps bring more balance to the mind and energy field, so there's a little more clarity. And then we're going to revisit your goal again and your problem. When you think about your problem and goal, is it still the same to work on personal growth, and your biggest problem is intimate relationships? Or would you, or could you fine tune it a little bit more after that work?
What I tend to do is look at the other person and be like, well, if that person would just do something different. But really what it's about is my relationship with myself and maybe how I react to my partner.
Okay. Okay.
So how do I not be so reactive and be more responsive, stay present with myself and not allow myself to get into that state?
So let's just muscle test. So your goal is, would you say self-love?
Self-regulation.
Okay, goal is self-regulation. Hmm. Goal is non-reactivity. Hmm. It seems to be strong on non-reactivity.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, okay, did it seem to, okay, non-reactivity. And one of the reasons why I really like to write down exactly what you say is because when I'm training other energy workers, sometimes they're trying to get like a psychic reading from them. And so I'm trying to show people how to help their client to really listen to their inner wisdom and inner teacher, and to really empower them with really what's right for them, not what I think. And so non-reactivity showed strong on your muscle testing. Would you say your biggest problem is that you have resentments build up, or would you just say that you have this reactivity, or what feels right to you?
Maybe being more curious about, like, what did you mean by that? Because the way that it came across to me, this is what I heard, but I don't think that's what you meant. So maybe be more curious.
Let me just muscle test on the problem. The problem is resentment. That's the biggest problem. There's even a bigger problem. The problem is being reactive. So it seems that you're muscle testing for resentment as the problem. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that that is definitely a big part of
Okay.
what.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
that's
always say that resentments are the marriage killers. Is the problem still a 10 when you think about the problem of resentments that's built up? What number would you give that?
now it's probably more of an 8.
8. Okay.
It's still pretty high.
I know. Well, we can muscle test that. It's sometimes just getting to this work and talking about it helps the charge go down a little bit. So the problem of resentment is an 8. Higher than an 8. It's lower than an 8. Okay. So you see, it's just a way to like connect with your energy field on these questions too. So now what I want to know is if there's any blockages, like mental blockages towards treatment. And so I'm just going to ask, there's at least one psychological reversal or mental blockage towards treatment. Okay. So is there anything that comes up? Sometimes people know what it is right away that makes you not want to get better. Like, for example, you said earlier that you feel like life is going so good that you just don't know if you're in a place of really wanting to work on this problem. And I just don't know, like, if that could be part of a psychological blockage, or if there's something else that comes up for you.
Part of it is fear of regression. If I get back in that relationship, I was having a lot of anxiety issues and depression, and now feel so much better about myself. I have a fear that if I get back into that situation, that it might all come back.
Okay. So let's do this. So do a heart rub with me. Even
Even if
I get back into this relationship
I get back into this relationship
and I regress,
and I regress,
I deeply love and accept myself.
I deeply love and accept myself.
Even if I regress into anxiety, fear, and depression, by working through this problem,
Even if I regress back into anxiety, fear, and depression, I still accept myself.
good. Even if
Even if
getting over this problem
getting over this problem
makes me regress
makes me
into
regress,
fear
fear,
and anxiety
anxiety,
and depression,
depression,
I will love and accept myself.
I will love and accept myself.
And then just breathe into that. Yeah, that was a strong one. Okay, so now repeat after me. I will regress if I get over this problem.
I will regress if I get over this problem.
Okay, now say, I will not regress into fear, anxiety, and depression if I get over this problem.
I will not regress into fear, anxiety, and depression if I get over this problem.
So now that's a strong statement. Now, I didn't muscle test you before we began, and normally we would. You came up with it, okay, let's just go ahead and do it. Sometimes we really need to hunt out these psychological blockages. Do you think there's still another one?
A fear of loss. If I really go deep into this, into intimacy and open myself up completely, I have a fear of loss.
Okay, so let's check that. I'm going to check it this time, okay? So there's at least another psychological reversal towards getting over her problem of resentment, a fear of losing herself. Okay. Let's go ahead and work on that. It all agreed. It all was strong on those statements. We'll do another heart rep. Okay. So let's go ahead and think about your problem and repeat after me. If I get over this problem of resentment and I lose myself, I will still love and accept myself anyway.
Even if I lose myself when I get over this problem of resentment, I still love and accept myself.
And just say it 2 more times. Really feel it. And say it in the best way for you.
Even if I lose myself, if I get back into this relationship, I still love and accept myself. Even if I lose myself by getting back into this relationship, I still love and accept myself.
Take a few deep breaths. And now, say, repeat after me. I will lose myself if I get back into this relationship.
I will lose myself if I get back into this relationship.
And now just say, I will lose myself if I get over this resentment.
I will lose myself if I get over this resentment.
Okay. And now say, I will not lose myself if I get back into this relationship.
I will not lose myself if I get back into this relationship.
That was very strong. So do you feel like these mental blockages have kind of cleared up a little bit for you? Let's find out if there's any other ones. Can we?
Yes.
Okay. So there's still another mental blockage or psychological reversal towards getting over this problem. Okay. The best treatment is a meridian tapping treatment. The best treatment is a customized meridian tapping treatment. The best treatment is a chakra treatment. Okay. It says from the treatment that a really good treatment for you was the emotional freedom technique. Do you know much about that treatment?
I've heard of it.
What we're going to do for EFT is we're going to do a reminder phase, and that I really want you to think about the problem. So let's look at your energy field right now. When you think about the problem, just think about the problem. That's all I want you to do, is just think about it. Can you see how the pendulum is showing that it's weak, it's turning to the left? So that just means that if I was to muscle test you and you thought about the problem, your arm would go weak. So what I want to do is have you think about the problem and a reminder phrase. And so we can use the reminder phrase of, like what would be the best reminder phrase towards your problem that gives you the most charge?
I get lost in my relationship.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So let's do another rub on your neurolymphatic point and where the sore spot, and just turn your fingers to the left and down to the right. Perfect, that's perfect. So just switching the direction that you're turning the fingers, yeah. And just repeat after me. I will lose myself if I get over this problem. Is that a good one? Is that what you said? Okay, I will lose myself if I get over this problem.
I will lose myself if I get over this problem.
And I feel it in my stomach.
Feel it in my stomach.
It's an 8. This problem is an 8.
Problem is an 8.
Good. And now we're going to tap on top of this head, on top of your head. I will lose myself.
I will lose myself.
And then you're going to tap inside the eyebrow point. If you take your eyebrow right in towards your nose, and that's the point, and you're just going to tap, 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 tap. I will lose myself thinking about the problem.
About the problem.
And then you're going to tap outside the eye. So this is interesting. It's right where the bone is on the eye. It's not the soft part. It's right on the edge of the eye on the bony part. I will lose myself.
I will lose myself.
And then you're going to tap the bony part under the eye. And these are all like sensitive spots to tap on. So just tap lightly and let me know if it's bothersome. How are you doing?
Okay.
I will lose myself. And then tapping under the nose. Good. Tapping under the lip. I will lose myself.
I will lose myself.
Tapping under the collarbone. I will lose myself. Good, you're doing great. Tapping underneath your arm. I will lose myself if I get over this problem.
Lose myself if I get over this problem.
Tapping inside the thumbnail bed. I won't know who I am.
I won't know who I am.
Good. Tapping inside the same point inside the on the index finger, so it's still the nail bed point. Good. Won't know who I am.
Won't know who I am.
Same point on the middle finger.
I won't know who I am.
Good. And then same point on the pinky finger.
I won't know who I am.
Now you're gonna tap. Okay, so the knuckle on the pinky finger and the ring finger, there's a line that goes up from your ring finger. You're gonna tap right there. And then I'm gonna have you do several things while you're tapping, okay? So without moving your head, open your eyes and close your eyes and open your eyes. Without moving your head, look all the way down to the right. Look all the way down to the left. Now with your eyes, without moving your head, make a big circle with your eyes to the right and a big circle with your eyes to the left. Good. Now hum, just hum, make up a song. And then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hum again. Good. And then think about the problem again. I'm afraid to get into this relationship. Inside the eyebrow, afraid of the resentments.
Afraid of resentments.
Outside the eye, I'm afraid of reactiveness.
Afraid of reactiveness.
Under the eye, Afraid of losing my center.
Afraid of losing my center.
Under the nose. Afraid of being ashamed of my reactiveness.
Afraid of being ashamed of my reactiveness.
Under the lip. Worried about anxiety.
About anxiety.
Under the collarbone. Under the arm. Problem with intimacy. Inside the thumb bed. Inside the index finger. Inside the middle finger. Inside the pinky finger. And then just kind of rub your legs and take a few deep breaths. And think about your problem and tell me if it's still an 8 when you think about how big of a problem it is, or if the number has changed at all.
I'm seeing like a 6 now.
And now when you go ahead and think about the problem, and I'm just going to see how your energy field is. Thinking about the problem. And the problem is still a 6. It's a 6. It's higher than a 6. It's a 7. It's higher than a 7. It's a 6.5. So your energy field is still weak when you think about the problem. So the tapping treatment helped a little bit. What I want to know is, do you want to do another round? Did something come up for you during the tapping treatment?
The only other thing was fear of loss of the other person. Something might happen to them.
If you get over this problem, something might happen.
I think it's connected back to my mother when she died.
Oh, okay.
That I had this fear, like I can't go through that very difficult loss. So if I just protect myself.
Oh, that's huge. Okay. If you lose him, that's really deep, Lori. That's some big armor that can go up on the heart. Yeah. Which kind of could change the problem and the whole issue, right?
Right.
So fear of loss, like my mom, and I can't go through that again. When you check into yourself, where do you feel that?
My heart.
And how much do you feel it? What number would you give that?
It's pretty big. It's a 10.
Let's regroup. How long ago did you lose your mom?
81. So 40 years ago almost.
Okay, so it's 40 years ago. And do you feel like you've had a chance to really process her loss?
I have in a few different ways.
So Lord, let's just ask. Let's just check in to see if you're still grieving the loss of your mom. And so thinking about the loss of your mom, just say, I'm still grieving over the loss of my mom.
I'm still grieving over the loss of my mom.
And now just say, I've been able to heal over the loss of my mom.
I've been able to heal over the loss of my mom.
So that's a true statement, and the other one wasn't true. So maybe this is more of a psychological reversal that came up for you, okay? So you get back with your husband, the fear of loss is a psychological reversal, okay? So let's go ahead and work on this fear of loss as a psychological reversal and see what happens, okay? So we'll do another heart rub and just tune into that fear. Say, even if I lose my husband like I did my mother, if I get over this problem, I will love and accept myself.
Even if I lose my husband like I lost my mother, if I get over this problem, I will still love and accept myself.
And say that 2 more times.
Even if I get over this problem and I lose my husband like I lost my mom, I will still love and accept myself.
Right.
Even if I get over this problem and I lose my husband like I lost my mom, I will still love and accept myself.
And take a few deep breaths there. And then just let's go ahead and check it. I'm afraid I will lose my husband if I get over this problem.
I'm afraid I will lose my husband if I get over this problem.
Now it's showing that it's not true. Now just say, I'm not afraid of losing my husband.
I'm not afraid of losing my husband if I get over this problem.
And how do you feel?
It definitely feels less charged. Yeah.
Okay. And when you think now about the resentments and your problem, what number would you give it?
3 just popped into my head.
Okay. So it really, okay, so that's interesting. The problem is now a 3. Okay. So when you think about the problem, just think about your problem right now. Let's just see what your energy field does. Okay, still showing me. Okay, so the best way to treat is another tapping treatment. A customized tapping treatment. Okay, let's go ahead and do another treatment just like we did. And what's nice about continuing the same type of treatment is it can help you remember to do it on your own on how to do these tapping treatments. And so what we're going to do is another heart rep. Okay, so thinking about the problem, this problem, it's still a 3, still a 3.
3.
And I may always have this problem.
I always have this problem.
May never get rid of this problem.
We never get rid of this problem.
And I will still love and accept myself.
Will love and accept myself.
Even if I never get rid of this problem, I will love and accept myself.
Even if I never get rid of this problem, I will love and accept myself.
And just say it 2 more times.
Even if I never get over this problem, I will still love and accept myself.
And then thinking about your problem, tap on top of your head. I still have this problem.
Still have this problem?
Inside the eyebrow. I've had it for a long time.
I've had it for a long time.
And then tap outside the eye. What makes me think I'm going to all of a sudden just get rid of it?
What makes me think all of a sudden I'm just going to get rid of it?
And underneath the eye, I may never get rid of it.
Never get rid of it.
Under the nose, I may always have this problem with intimacy.
I may always have this problem with intimacy.
Under the lip, this problem, just thinking about this problem. Thinking about this problem.
Thinking about this problem.
Under the collarbone and all the fear around this problem.
This problem.
And underneath the arm. Still a 3.
Still a 3.
Inside the thumbnail bed. Inside the index finger bed. Inside the middle finger bed. And inside the pinky finger bed. And then just rub on your thighs and take a few deep breaths. And now tell me if the number has changed at all or if anything's come up for you.
That was really good. I just feel like, oh, I don't have to get rid of it. It's like, it's okay.
It's okay to be imperfect, right? A lot of us expect to be so perfect and that we can't embrace what's there. We try to get rid of it, and that just kind of makes it get bigger, right? When we try to make it like go away.
Yes.
Yeah. So now that you there's a little bit more acceptance that, hey, I have this problem and it's okay. Does it still have a charge for you?
It's turned from a primary color into a pastel color. So but it's still there, but it's not so big.
Okay, so let's just have you think about it and let's just see how it affects your energy field. Okay, so go ahead and just thinking about the problem. Your energy field is showing that it's strong when you think about the problem. And that's what we want to see in treatment. We want to see that even though it's still there, it's not weakening you. It's not something that makes you feel less than or makes you not be in your center or in your core. So where do you want to go from here? We have a few minutes, and so there's some things that we can do. And one is, now that you know the points, you can think about the problem and tap on the points. But we can also tap on your goal. And your goal was non-reactivity. Is that still your goal?
It doesn't feel like it. It feels like accepting my reactions. It feels like it's more in alignment now.
Okay. Acceptance. Can we just say, do you want to say accepting reactions or just acceptance? Or how do you want to say that?
Acceptance of whatever it is I'm feeling.
Awesome. Okay. So let's just tap on that. As far as acceptance on 10, meaning you completely accept how you feel, and 1 means, oh man, I have a long ways to go. What number would you give that?
But being aware of it now, I think will really help. If I have to give it a number, probably still, somewhere around 7.
Okay. Okay, cool. Let's just now use the tapping for acceptance on how you feel over your problem. We'll just keep it the same spots, and so that you can also do this on your own. You could do a heart rub, which is a bigger rub, or just the fingers on your neurolymphatic point, and just say, even though
Even though
I have this problem,
I have this problem,
completely accept how I feel about things.
I completely accept how I feel about things.
Say it in your own words 2 more times.
Even though I have this problem, I completely accept how I feel about these things. Even though I have this problem, I completely accept how I feel about it.
Good, good, good. And so we'll have you tap on top of your head and just go ahead and say the reminder phrase on your own.
I completely accept how I feel about this problem.
Inside the eyebrows,
I completely accept how I feel about this problem.
outside the eye,
I completely accept how I feel about this problem.
under the eye,
I completely accept how I feel about this problem.
under the nose,
I completely accept how I feel about this problem.
under the lip,
I completely accept how I feel about this problem.
under the collarbone,
I completely accept how I feel about this problem.
under the arm.
I completely accept how I feel about this problem.
This is a big one, under the arm. I'll tell you why. The spleen point. And a lot of times when we're so worried about what other people's opinions are or what other people think versus our own opinions, or even worshiping other people's opinion, the spleen can get really bogged down and stuck with blockages. And then inside the thumbnail bed, right? Index finger, middle finger, and then pinky finger, and then just shake it out. And then just tell me, when you think about your goal of acceptance on how you feel, all that you feel, did the number change at all?
I am more accepting of how I feel for sure.
Okay, okay.
I feel like a switch went off.
And so with all of this work and everything said and done, what would you say about it before and after?
I feel like I was stuck. I just kind of went into this with open mind and not knowing how this process worked at all, digging deeper and then getting to that point, just going, oh, really? I can just accept? Wow, I can accept this too. Oh my gosh, it was really helpful.
A lot of times after a session or in between sessions, if you decide you want another session, we check to see if there's anything you want to do on your own as far as what would help you with your goal of acceptance and clarity. And can you think of something that might work for you, like something you could do after the session?
There's 2 things typically that I do, and one of them is journaling. Sometimes I also do art.
Do you feel comfortable doing tapping on your own?
Sure.
Sometimes we muscle test for homework, but I just don't know how necessary it is for you. Do you want to muscle test on what's the best thing to do?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do
Okay,
it.
okay. The best homework for Lori is to do more of the tapping. Okay, so that definitely looks like a strong response, at least once a day, at least when she feels the need of it. Okay, journaling is even better. Art is even better. All three is awesome, is wonderful. No, you don't need to do all three. Whatever she feels inclined to do is the best thing. To go with her intuition, to go with a set plan. So the idea that came to me is to do something structured or like a set plan isn't really necessary, but just to go with what you feel guided to do.
Great.
So do you feel complete?
Absolutely. Yes.
So at the end of the session, what really helps lock in the session, and it's so simple, but it really works, is an eye roll. So what we do, and it's not an eye roll as in a circle, it's more about you look at the very bottom of the floor with your eyes, and without moving your head, slowly bring your eyes up to the top of the ceiling until you can't bring the eyes up anymore. Okay, good job.